Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you a makeup that I did a couple of days ago. Now this makeup is going to be using vintage makeup. Firstly, I want to say you shouldn't use old cosmetics. I know this is obvious, but a few people have asked me about this. You shouldn't use it because if you're a collector of vintage makeup, which I am, you collect because you want to keep them and you want them in pristine condition, and you shouldn't use them because they'll start to disintegrate. And more importantly, you shouldn't use it because it's not good for your skin. They often contain substances which are banned today. And not that it did our grandmothers that much harm, but you shouldn't do it. So please don't try this at home. Don't attempt to do this. Please get into collecting vintage makeup because I think it's really fun, but don't collect it to use it. Collect it to keep. I try and find all my vintage makeup. I try and look for things that have never been used, because that for me is a real find, and then I can just keep it and I can look at it and it's inspiring, and I just like to have it. So that's why I do it. I don't buy it to use it. I know I used some stuff the other day, but I did wash my face straight away afterwards, and I didn't put it in direct contact with my skin. Right, so this makeup I'm going to be using is the original Biba makeup. This has nothing to do with Justin Bieber, for those that asked. Nothing at all. It's Biba, and Biba was an amazing part of history. It was the brainchild of someone called Barbara Hulaniki, and it launched first as a mailing order company, and she was doing dresses and great clothes for teenagers, very affordable. It became so popular that she eventually took on a shop, and then she went to a bigger shop and a bigger shop and a bigger shop. And she ended up in a department store size shop in London, Kensington High Street. Unfortunately, it all went wrong business-wise, and within 2 years, it was gone. And it has been relaunched since then, not with Barbara Hulaniki, who was the pioneer, but other people have relaunched it, and it's never been right. It's never been true to the spirit. And the thing about the whole concept was so different. And the makeup, for example, which launched in 1972, there's a brilliant bit in Barbara Hulaniki's book where she explains how when she first went to the factory, and at the time, 60s makeup was like pale pink lipstick, white lips, very pale lipsticks, and the 50s had been reds and corals and pinks and all these pretty colours. And she went to the factory and she said, right, I want brown lipstick, blue lipstick, black lipstick. Her eye colours were the colours of bruised fruit. She used to put palettes together that were like things that we see now, but at the time it was so revolutionary. Things like really weird purples with bright orange and rusty colours and mustard yellows and things like that. I mean, she was a real maverick, a true maverick. Anyway, it all went bust and all went wrong in 1975, but I have got a really big selection, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a blog post in a couple of days showing you some of the pictures of my original makeup, because my collection is unused, and also just explaining a little bit more about it. So if you are interested in knowing more, and I'll put links to books that I think are great. So I wanted to do this really in the spirit of Barbara Hulaniki, and I wanted to do her proud. So I am going to be doing the makeup not on myself, but on a model called Claudia Devlin, who's absolutely stunning. But I felt that she really encapsulated the spirit, and she really represented the Biba girl, because the Biba girl was quite quirky, and there was a definite look which I'll write more about in my blog post, and I just felt that she really captured that spirit. So now, because it is old makeup, and just to stress again, don't try this at home. I'm using old makeup. I'm a professional. None of my old makeup has ever been opened or used, but it's still not good. So I've made sure that I triply protected the skin first. I used Bioderma moisturizer for sensitive skin. Then I used a 100% silicone protective primer all over eyelids and eyes. Then I used a base. I actually used Face Atelier base because I'm not using any liquid products from Biba, obviously. So I'm using the Face Atelier Ultra Foundation, and I didn't have the right colour for her, but I did have zero, so I mixed zero in, because you'll see that Claudia is very, very pale. I mixed enough of this into this to get exactly her perfect skin tone, and that's a beautiful foundation, and it just looks, I thought it looked great on her. And then I doubly protected the eyelids with a layer of Guerlain primer, which is quite a pigmented one, so that was all over as well. And that's it. That's all to say. If you want to find out more about Biba, please check my blog in a couple of days. And in the meantime, I hope you enjoy this makeup. So I'm starting by using one of the famous China Doll cheeks, and this is the lavender one. I'm using it all over Claudia's eyelids. This product was designed mainly for cheeks and highlighting. I know nowadays it seems like a funny colour for cheeks, but believe me, with Biba makeup, it was a case of anything goes. China Doll cheeks are impossible to find now. As you can imagine, they all would have gone off and been thrown away years ago. So I'm pretty lucky to have a completely never been opened set of unused ones. So that's the lavender all over Claudia's eyes. Using the same product, I'm blending it onto the top of Claudia's cheekbones. Now I'm going in with one of the pink China Doll cheeks. So interesting working with these textures because I've never used any of these products before, and they really are quite different texture-wise from anything that's available now. Next I'm going in with one of the famous powder tints. This one's called Dark Jade. Buffing it in the inner socket and across the eye. So you can see I'm beginning to build up with the Dark Jade shade. Next is the bright lilac shade from the Smarties range of powder tints, as they were called. This range has 21 very cool shades and I love them all. I'm just buffing the colour underneath Claudia's eye. Moving on to this incredible blue, which is called Egyptian. It's another amazing shade of the powder tint. I'm using that at the outer corners underneath. Then back to the dark jade to blend everything in together at the outer corner. The Biba look was a very round eye shape, so I'm working on giving the eye a round, wide-eyed look. I have no idea where I'm going with this look. I've never experienced using this makeup before, so where it's going to end up is anyone's guess. Biba did different fake lashes, the famous ones being called caterpillars and spiders. I do have an unused pair of caterpillars, but I can't bear to use them, so instead here are some MAC ones. I'm not going to use a liquid liner to blend the strip at the inner corner because, as you can imagine, there aren't any surviving liquid liners from Biba, and I don't really want to use a modern day product. Next I'm going to use a powder tint called Emerald. This colour is amazing. I'm using it to blend up at the outer corner and to give more of a golden yellowy green glow. Back in with the dark jade to start to perfect my edges and really work on the shape. I'm going to add a few individual bunches of lashes at the outer corner, applying them in a kind of higgledy-piggledy fashion, with the longest ones at the outer edge. Back in with China Doll Cheeks in Lavender as a highlighter at the inner corner of the eye. Before I do cheeks, I want to get the lips on, and this is the Biba lip pencil in Plum. Oh, and by the way, I'm wearing Biba nail polish in Copper. I'm creating a typically Biba-esque small 1920s style China Doll lip shape with the pencil, and then blending it with a lip brush to smooth. Next I'm going to use one of what was called the Moods. They were contouring and blushing duos which came in the most extraordinary shades, from oranges and bricks to olive greens and blues. What I'm learning from doing this experiment is that everything in the Biba range was unbelievably densely pigmented. I only need to use a tiny bit of this duo. To finish, I'm using a little shimmery white powder tint. My final touches are with the powder tint Cornflower. How amazing is this colour? It's such a delicious metallic pale blue and finishes things off perfectly, helping everything from the eye to the contour to the blush and the highlighter all to blend in together. So this is the finished look, which I'm really pleased with. I think it sums up the Biba look well. Big Bambi eyes, a lot of amazingly painterly colour, doll face, small lips, and the lashes at the outer corner really give the eyes a wide set appearance. Claudia is wearing the original Biba nail polish shade Midnight.